What's up guys, it's B522 from Some Guys on Xbox Live, back with another build and tune video. This video is going to be a drift setup for the Mazda RX-7. And honestly, this is probably my favorite drift car that I own in Horizon 2. It's one of the easiest to drift, but it also holds some of the most angle, and it just feels real light and flickable. So it's real fun to drift. But let's get started with the upgrades. So over in conversions, we're going to leave the engine stock, and we're going to leave the stock twin turbo setup. Going over to engine parts, we're going to do race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race exhaust, race rotors, race twin turbo, stock intercooler, race oil and cooling, and race flywheel. Platform and handling, we're going to do race brakes, race springs and dampers, race front inter-roll bars, race rear inter-roll bars, and sport chassis. I thought about doing the race roll cage on this car, but honestly it adds a good bit of weight and this car feels fine without it. We're going to do race weight reduction. So we're going to do race clutch, race transmission, race driveline, race differential. On the tires and rims, tire compound, as always, we're going to do sport tire compound. Bump the front tires up to 255s and the rear tires up to 295s. And now for wheels, I went with the Rota Tarmac 3s. You can use any wheel style you like that suits your preference. I just thought these Rotas looked really good on this car, so I chose them. And I bumped the front and rear rim size, both up to 18s. So now for aero, as usual, you can pick any of the bumpers, whichever one you like the best or fits best with your design. Just don't use any of the Forza Motorsport bumpers. And I left it with the stock wing. I used the C-West bumper, C-West side skirts, and the June hood. Alright, so now let's get into the tuning. So tire pressure is going to be 27 in the front and 25 in the rear. Gearing, 3.85 final drive, 2.89 for first, 1.99 for second, 1.49 for third, 1.16 for fourth, 0.94 for fifth, and 0.78 for sixth. For alignment, we're going to do negative 3.2 degrees of camber in the front, negative 2.5 in the rear, 0 degrees of toe in the front, and negative 0.5 degrees in the rear. The caster is 7.0 degrees. For inter-roll bars, you can do closest to 20.5 and 20.4 you can. And for springs, same thing, as close to 555 as you can and 552 as you can. And then lowering ride height all the way down, both front and rear. Damping, we're going to do 10.0 in the front, 9.8 in the rear for rebound, and for bump, 7.2 in the front and 7.0 in the rear. Can't adjust aero. Braking, do 45 degrees for the balance and 90 degrees for the pressure. And differential, 50 degrees acceleration and 15 degrees deceleration. So now we'll take it for a test drive. So I kept the rotary engine in this RX-7 instead of swapping it. I just think the rotary just fits this car so much better than any other engine configuration. But characteristic of the rotary is really high revving, very free revving, but it also doesn't make too much torque in the low end. All the power and torque's up at the top end. So the way I've tuned this car is third gear is your main drifting gear. You can get into fourth for wider turns like you see here. But tuned it where it stays, 8,000, almost 9,000 RPM. You can just lay on the gas, use the correct amount of counter steer, and the car will stay right in that sweet spot where it's making a ton of power, but it's not bouncing off the rev limiter like crazy, so you're not losing power, getting inconsistent power delivery, anything like that. But this car is very controllable, very light and flickable. And it's one of the easiest cars to drift, but it doesn't make it boring in any way. It's just the car is so capable, you can do a ton with it without too much effort. And it's honestly my favorite drift car I've built. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.